at all. Like, you do realize if it's real, then this proves this gives us further evidence that ICE is literally documenting people and putting them on what I guess you could explain as a kill list. Okay? This basically makes his murder premeditated. What are we talking about? This doesn't actually... You can't do a revenge on a random citizen for busting out your taillight. What are we talking about, dude? That's not a justification. That's premeditated. Any Democrat from here on out, and even before then, even before now, any Democrat that does not actually abide by the bare minimum standard that these people all must be punished is an oppositional figure. They are opposing the population. They are not leaning into the resentment that people have, the justifiable anger that people feel in their hearts. They are selling us an alternative reality that does not exist. This reality where there is actually at least some kind of stability and that we are going to be fine and we're going to go back to business as usual when the Democrats win midterm elections. There is no more business as usual, okay? It's over. It's been over for quite a while, but it is more over than it's ever been. And it's not like we are alone. The liberal base of support is also on our side. Everyone is on our side, okay? The people are there. They recognize it. They live through it on a daily basis. They're terrified. Some of them, through that fear, still find the capacity to organize and find bravery in the crowd. They find courage because they know that others also feel the same way. But our representatives are not invested in representing us. They're invested in representing capital. They're invested in representing business as usual politics. Business as usual politics in a world where the Republican Party has decided there is no more business as usual politics. They will do whatever they want. I'm sick and tired of being held hostage by a bunch of zero IQ charlatans that only want to do cruelty to you on the basis of you succeeding, on the basis of you thriving in spite of all of the material, all of the circumstances fighting against you. I'm sick and tired of it. They see groups of migrants that create a sense of community and they despise it because they lack it themselves and they want to punish them. That's what's going on with Somalis in Minneapolis. They see people lock arms side by side with one another and fight against tyranny, fight against repression, and they hate it because they have nothing to fight for. They are jealous babies. They are insecure bullies, and they control the government, and they are not shy about using the government to punish every single person with a conscience. What are we doing? You cannot deal with these people. You cannot engage with these people sincerely. You need to fight back against these people. And any Democrat that refuses to be that person is an enemy of mine as well. They should be seen as collaborators, because that is precisely what they are. They are appeasing some of the most violent forces we have seen in this goddamn country. Oh. It blows my mind that we're basically looking at the situation as a bunch of psychopathic charlatans are ruining every aspect, every redeemable aspect of this country, of this culture, and are doing it in the most punitive ways possible, because this is yet another opportunity for them to feel as though they have power. Okay? They are force projecting. They are behaving in this way because it makes them feel powerful, and they're murdering American citizens in cold blood. And the Democrats' response to this is, oh, well, Trump gave me assurances. Trump gave me assurances that things are going to be good now. Things are not going to be good. Maybe they'll be good for you because you're going to be fine, at least for the time being, before they throw your ass in the slammer too. Maybe we'll go to the concentration camps before you, but you're inevitably headed there as well. I can't stand. I can't stand. No more half measures, man. No more, oh, we need to reform ICE. No, ICE. Abolish ICE, but not just abolish ICE, but punish ICE. Punish every single person that's doing this. What good is law and order and the Constitution if you're going to treat it like a piece of paper that is utterly meaningless? If you're not going to defend it, then there is no Constitution at all. There is no law and order at all. This is pure lawlessness. This is pure disorder. Someone has to do something about it. And if the representatives that are supposed to represent us are not going to represent us, we have to take matters into our own hands. We have to organize elsewhere.
Mayor Jacob Fry and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Homan sharing in a post on X, while we don't agree on everything, these meetings were a productive starting point. But tensions remain high. This video showing what appears to be federal agents attempting to enter the Ecuadorian consulate in Minneapolis, which is illegal under international law without permission. And steps away from a growing memorial, mourners gathered all day and night to pay respects to Alex Preddy. I asked if they feel a shift could happen.
Do you think it might be an inflection point?
God, I hope so. I feel like a lot of people have this strong fear that we're a test city, and I hope they realize it's a failure.
Now, in a statement, DHS saying they provide this report to Congress, quote, to promote transparency, and that it does not, quote, convey any definitive conclusion or investigative findings. Meanwhile, our viewers will remember this little boy who ICE took custody of last week after arresting his father in their driveway. Both father and son were eventually transferred to a family detention center in Texas. And now, Michael, a judge barring their deportation until the legal process plays out.
All right, Matt, thank you so much for all of that. I'm sure everyone will remember every bit of it.
There are growing calls this morning for the resignation of DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, including from some Republicans, all because of the chaos in Minneapolis. We could also, by the way, be looking at a partial government shutdown over the question of funding for ICE. Caitlin Huey-Burns is on Capitol Hill and is covering all of this for us. Caitlin, good morning to you. What can you tell us?
Good morning to you, Gail. Well, this funding bill was supposed to sail through the Senate this week, but what happened in Minnesota over the weekend changed everything. Now, Democrats say they won't support funding for DHS unless there are reforms, and even Republicans are calling for greater scrutiny of the agency.
After the killing of Alex Preddy in Minnesota, Senate Democrats say they will not support funding the agency that oversees Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, unless reforms are put in place.
The Senate must not pass the DHS budget as currently written.
Congress has already passed 6 bills to fund various sectors of the government, but 6 more remain, including money for the Pentagon and the Department of Transportation.
No, the time for reforms have passed, man. No, this is ridiculous. You cannot reform this institution. And people recognize that reality. And it blows my mind. It blows my mind that Democrats refuse to acknowledge this. If ICE handles the deportation and apprehension of illegal immigrants, especially violent offenders, if we abolished ICE, which agency or mechanism of the federal government would deal with this? Yeah. Roll back the clock 20 years and you will recognize that there used to be an agency called the INS. Immigrant Naturalization Services. ICE became this behemoth after 2003. Okay? All of the rabid criminal immigrants are already in prison. They're not, ICE does not grab actual criminals, convicted criminals that are charged and convicted and are carrying out their sentence are in prison already. We already have law enforcement. Okay? These guys, your boy Obama loved ICE, but nobody gave my boy Obama. If you had a brain cell working inside of your goddamn body, you would know that I was actually incredibly critical of Barack Obama, specifically on the basis of ICE and extrajudicial killings of American citizens as well. But that was certainly a big part of my argument. It doesn't matter, though, because just because you are a brain-broken cult monster, you think everyone else is the same way. Oh, my team is doing this, though I like it. Just like when your team does it, you like it. That's not my team at all. Now, there are plenty of losers on the internet that will actively claim that I'm actually bad. I'm actually a bad person calling out Barack Obama, even at this moment. Okay? The prince doesn't want the position because he's scared, but his people are strong and brave. Oh, God. Idiot. Also, I'm independent, my guy. Okay. Do you like when Barack Obama did it? The older I get, the angrier I get about the tan suit controversy, from treatment of whistleblowers, drone strikes, and 3 million deportations. There was plenty to criticize Obama on. Liberals and Republicans didn't do a good job. This tan suit is a stark reminder of that. That was 2019. Suck my dick. It's gaslighting to claim that this was the only Obama-era controversy. Black Lives Matter protests were also under Obama. The Dakota pipeline was under Obama. The No Dakota Access Pipeline, where Barack Obama private mercs to go and with the veterans that were protesting against it. That was also under Barack Obama. Republicans, of course, had to make up racist lies like he wasn't American or wore a tan suit once, but that was far from the only problem with the Obama administration. And once again, an instance of my consistency that still is still people to yell at me over. Okay, liberals will get mad when I say that. I've been saying for a decade. Why so angry, my guy? Can we have a civil conversation? You're too stupid to have a civil conversation with because you came in locked and ready going, your boy Obama loved ICE, but nobody gave a now. How am I supposed to have a civil conversation with you? You're the brain of a donkey. Form over function. For the record, I repeated these claims. I repeated these statements. They're not claims. They're just objective realities, okay? As recently as last week when I was in Minneapolis, when we were talking about how liberals have also played a formative role in getting us here, okay? This has been a consistently held position of mine for years. And yet, when I say that, all the donkey-ass liberals, all the donkey-brained liberals were up in replies on Twitter being like, yo, you're such a... Why are you talking about Barack Obama at a time like this? Yeah, why can't you be civil when calling out my ignorance? I don't know. Why can't you be normal? Why can't you have a brain? Anyway. I hate that we have to live in a world where, like, morons and their lack of interest in anything, their lack of intellectual curiosity, their lack of critical thinking skills is somehow everybody else's problem. I hate that, man. I am no elitist by any measure, okay? But I can't stand how annoying Dunning-Kruger-addled morons are. They're so confident in their stupidity. It's just unbearable, dude. Unbearable. Did you hear Obama Bernie recently? Yeah, it sucks, dude. Obama, okay? Suck my dick, Barack Obama. Oh, yeah. Let me on the activist branch of the party that literally helped me rise to power, okay? After I got crippled by Republicans and conservative Democrats my entire presidency. Let me just on those activists who believed in me and foolishly voted me in twice. You, dude. You, Barack Obama. Piece of Barack Obama. That's what it's like being in the service industry every day. You have to confidently deal with, or you have to deal with confidently stupid people. Yeah, I know. That's why I always say, like, the greatest thing that could possibly happen to the service sector would be if you could just, like, ban people from the establishment with the click of a button in the same way that I can. Can you imagine how much more power you would have over your own workplace if you could just go click, boom, you're out. You just got yeeted. Or you could just, like, mute them. Like in the Matrix, where they just can't open their mouths anymore. Can't believe you said that about your boy. Yeah, I miss Obama. His only scandal was a tan suit, Chelsea Manning's torture, the extrajudicial murder of Abdurrahman al-Awlaki, destroying Libya, arming and enabling the Saudi destruction of Yemen, letting the bankers off scot-free, mass deportation, the drone kill list, espionage act, ... Part of the reason why I bring this up right now is because not only do people stupidly say, oh, your boy Obama did this, suck my dick, okay? Yeah, I'm very aware of that. You weren't, dumbass. Also, it doesn't even make sense. So are you saying you like Obama now? Is that what it is? And the other part of the reason why I'm bringing it up is because there are liberals who really butthurt when I bring that up. Even now, where they say, now is not the time. Why would you bring up Barack Obama now? It's like, well, he played a role in this. He played a role. Where's the clip of me responding in Minneapolis? I need to find it. Oh, here it is. Hasan Piker on the Democrats and ICE violence is like 2 minutes and 37 seconds, and everyone lost their minds, okay? Everyone lost their minds. I mean, obviously, there's plenty of people who are dunking on me saying, I want Democrats to listen to their voters, Lamau. I know, chat. I know chatters who responded this way, okay? I know. You're not a Marxist lol, just a Democrat. I know. Infected by the woke mind virus. You got me. You got me. Everyone got my ass. Okay? I want you to grow up and stop doing unpaid labor for Republicans. Like, this is what I mean. So many liberals have this kind of attitude where they're like, oh, how dare you criticize how dare you disparage the legacy of Barack Obama? Why don't you listen to the voters? Do you think Harris-Trump's views on most issues are too liberal for you? Yeah, Harris was too liberal. That's why she lost. You're right. Is this out of a position of privilege or ignorance? It's ignorance and privilege. It's both. Some of these people are too privileged to recognize who over when the Democrats are in charge and doing, similar things. Maybe not to the same severity, maybe not to the same degree, of course. I will admit that. Obviously, Trump is worse. Republicans are still worse. But they're also ignorant. And they're so ignorant that they don't even understand that right now, everyone despises the goddamn Democrats. They don't even seek out why that's the case. Yeah, this was funny. More and more Americans are voicing their outrage at the tactics being deployed by federal agents in Minnesota, but it's important to understand that the broader implications of what this administration is doing and the threat it poses to the basic freedoms of every American. Here's a podcast that does a good job of laying out what's at stake. Thanks, Obama. Democrats are the enablers, okay? That's what's so crazy about this. Like, I've been so goddamn consistent in my position, and these guys that hear it for the first time ever, like yesterday, get mad about it for some reason, even though I'm right. They never let you live it down. They hate that you're right, okay? They hate that you're consistent. They hate that you have firm commitments to your own worldview, to a future that you want to see, that you will fight for. They hate because they don't have any of that. They have no backbone. And they just demand fealty, absolute fealty. And they refuse to see that absolute fealty demand is not working. You're the do-nothing win guy, and Dems are the do-nothing lose guys? No, it's not even like do-nothing win, because I'm not winning. If my theories are coming to fruition, if I'm experiencing what I suspected will happen, that's not a W at all for anybody, let alone myself. It's an objectively worse reality that we now live in. They hate that you're not changing your mind. No, it's not even that. I think a lot of liberals, and this is not like liberal voters, because liberal voters are far more radical nowadays than the Democrats are. Okay. What is this? Andrew Fleischman. So reasons for skepticism. Facial recognition technology at 97%. That's claim. Unclear source. AI exists. Nobody mentioned this guy kicking this car before. If it's real, he's a less sympathetic victim. If it's fake, Republicans are less sympathetic victims. So there's a lot going on here. The way TNM presented it as reporting done by BBC Verify, when that's seemingly not true, is weird. And it makes it seem not trustworthy. It's like a content company, not a news outlet. So maybe that's why they did that. But I found this. Same intersection and day, with a reporter saying someone kicked an ice tail light. With air heavy with chemical irritants in 36th and Park, about 30 agents just cleared out of there. A guy kicked out an ice tail light and got away. Man, it was a good kick, witness tells us. Unclear if they were detained. It could be AI. It could be real. None of it matters. It doesn't make this unsanctioned murder more appropriate. Who gives a kicked out taillight of a rental car that ICE was using? They ran with it. It doesn't matter. What gives? I mean, if it's AI, then it's even more insane. But it's where is the BBC confirmation? BBC News Verify, I do not believe, confirmed this at all. Like, you do realize if it's real, then this proves this gives us further evidence that ICE is literally documenting people and putting them on what I guess you could explain as a kill list. Okay? This basically makes his murder premeditated. What are we talking about? This doesn't actually... You can't do a revenge on a random citizen for busting out your taillight. What are we talking about, dude? That's not a justification. That's premeditation. Even if it's real. It gives motive. What are we talking about? Especially when we already have this new detail from CNN. Days before ICE ambushed Miramar Martinez and shot her 5 times, DHS circulated a memo to agents with her name and face saying to be on the lookout for her doxing agents. They know what they're asking agents to do. CNN news reporting suggests Alex Preddy, a separate story, was attacked by federal agents, entered into a database, and then possibly targeted by his eventual killers. Federal immigration officers have been collecting personal information about protesters and agitators in Minneapolis. Okay? Sources told CNN and had documented details about Alex Preddy before he was shot to death on Saturday. It is unclear how Preddy first came to the attention of federal authorities, but sources told CNN that about a week before his death, he suffered a broken rib when a group of federal officers tackled him while he was protesting their attempt to detain other individuals. Preddy's name was known to federal agents, according to a source, though it's unclear whether the new intake form was used to share his information. It's also not clear whether the federal agents who encountered Preddy on Saturday recognized him before they confronted him, eventually wrestling him to the ground, taking a gun from his waistband, and then fatally shooting him. Thank God for Israel-backed Palantir, by the way. Alex Preddy was itching for another confrontation with Border Patrol, whom he'd been stalking, harassing, and terrorizing. He had been victimizing them. His felonies are on tape. He was reckless, and it cost him his life. Find another poster boy, illegal loving leftists. They're doing victory laps on here. They're doing victory laps on this video that could very well be AI for the record, or maybe it's real, but it still doesn't change reality whatsoever. This is not a justification for his murder, you moron. This only shows premeditation. FYI, it was confirmed by this Wired scoop. Oh, you mean the Palantir thing? Even if this video is real, which it hasn't been proven yet, this is not a justification for his murder, you moron. This only shows premeditation. Republicans are so delusional, deserve to be gunned down by masked kidnapping thugs in broad daylight. Why are you taking the back foot on this crazy? Wait, what back foot? Do you not understand what words mean? I'm saying, even in the argument that they're trying to present that hasn't been substantiated yet, it still doesn't prove what they think they're trying to prove here, which is, oh, then he deserved it. Premeditation by ICE. Republicans are so delusional they think this means Alex Preddy deserved to be gunned down by mass kidnapping thugs. Redeemable. ICE taillights matter. ICE was doing postponed self-defense on behalf of the vehicle tactically. Yeah. Was Twitter a mistake? Dude, I don't... Yeah, I mean, it was. It was a mistake. Yeah, the only proof of an incident where like an ICE taillight was broken that Jacqueline Sweet was able to find as an investigative reporter was that this tweet from a local reporter on scene. Anyway, let's watch this video though. Let's watch why they're claiming that this is like totally valid. Kill Alex Preddy now. Now we have a name for this report.
This is a moment the news movement.
It's this guy. Now we have a name for this report. Is this guy Dan Ming? Journalist, left-handed Canadian, New York City, senior correspondent for the news movement, previous at Vice News and Al Jazeera English. On January 13th, my colleague Dallin Mello and I filmed the man interacting with federal agents in Minneapolis. It appears the man we filmed was Alex Preddy. Our report here. Where's the confirmation from the BBC? Since when do they do facial recognition confirmation? You filmed this yourself? Share the BBC confirmation. I mean, it can very well be real, okay? I don't think that AI is
filmed on January.
AI is not that good, but it doesn't. That's why I said like, it doesn't matter.
13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Preddy interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97%.
Yeah, like what do you mean? The facial recognition technology is so sus. Like.
Degree of accuracy. On the morning of January 13th, our team received a tip that federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36 and
I don't think AI is that good, man.
Park Avenue in Minneapolis. We arrived around 10:15 a.m. We saw observers shouting
Same clothes? Yeah, I mean, he could very well be wearing similar clothes. Like, I don't...
at the agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground. During the altercation, agents fired tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd. They continued to hold the man down.
I don't think he's AI.
Before they retreat, and he walks away.
Especially because this also corresponds to the other reporting where he was like, he had an altercation with ICE beforehand. None of it justifies murder, though, so it doesn't matter. Stop arguing on whether this is AI or not. Okay, it doesn't. It literally doesn't matter. Even if it's a real video, it still doesn't matter. You have to be delusional. You make it seem like if this video is real, then all of a sudden it matters. Like all of a sudden it has any sort of video is incredibly consistent, 0% AI chance, too many variables that do not even slightly change, including the very accurate car and taillights. Yeah, exactly.
The man in our footage is wearing a similar outfit to what Preddy was wearing on the day he was killed. What appears to be a gun is also visible above his waistband.
What's more likely is that they filmed his face and they put him on a watch list. As Ken Klippenstein reports in his exclusive, Sparta, Reaper, and Grapevine track protesters and their friends, plus others, ICE's secret watch list of Americans. We have a nice little database, and now you're considered a domestic terrorist. A masked federal agent taunted a protester filming him in Maine last week, if you recall. Remember this video? We've covered videos like this on numerous occasions on this broadcast where ICE agents will walk up to counter-protesters, will walk up to protesters and film them in their faces and go, smile, you're on camera, you're on a watch list now. Department of Homeland Security spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin's response was firm. There is no database of domestic terrorists run by ICE. There's just one problem. She's lying. Two senior national security officials tell me that there are more than a dozen secret and obscure watch lists that Homeland Security and the FBI are using to track protesters, both anti-ICE and pro-Palestinian. This is another big suck my dick to all Israel dick riders out there, rabid ultra-Zionist pigs. Run around going, oh my God, Israel first, Israel first. Why are you tying this back to Palestine? Because this is precisely, okay? You Israel first monsters, dude. Jesus Christ. How can you say that when the first immigration action that the Trump administration took was literally try to deport anti-Israel protesters, trying to deport people for writing articles in their student newspaper against Israel, hurting Israel's feelings. And then they still act like this is not the identical situation. Cue Ethan's one meme. Ethan can suck my dick, dude. Jesus Christ. It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy that one of the biggest pro-Israel IDF donors went and purchased TikTok specifically because he wanted to make it pro-Israel, and that every single person that played a role, every single politician that played a role in the sale of TikTok openly said they were selling TikTok because they were scared that people were becoming too anti-Israel. Every single person that refuses to acknowledge that tries to disparage, that tries to disparage people for calling this out, that tries to deflect attention away from this issue is a monstrous liar that is only invested in Israel and nothing else. TikTok just banned Bizon earlier today. Her account had 1 million followers, and if I recall correctly, it's just gone. I mean, it's just one. I can't believe it, dude. Unbelievable. And these guys will still go like, oh my God, this is anti-Semitism. What do you mean this is anti-Semitism? You have diluted anti-Semitism from a valid threat to whatever hurts Israel's feelings. It's insane to me. There you go, dude. My brother in Christ, you built the sandwich, okay? Have anti-Semitism sandwich now. You built it, okay? You made the sandwich. It's Subway. 2 senior national security officials tells me that there are more than a dozen secret and obscure watches that Homeland Security and the FBI are using to track protests both anti-ICE and pro-Palestinian, Antifa, and others who are promiscuously labeled domestic terrorists. I can reveal for the first time that some of the secret lists and applications go by code names like Blue Key, Grapevine, Hummingbird, Reaper, Sandcastle, Sienna, Slipstream, and Sparta, including the ominous sounding HELA and HELC. Reports generated by Sparta. Some of these, like Hummingbird, were created to vet and track immigrants. In these cases, Afghans seeking to settle in the United States. Slipstream is a classified social media repository. Others are tools used to link people on the streets together, including collecting on friends and families who have nothing to do with any purported law breaking. There's practically nothing available that further describes what these watch lists do, how large they are, or what they entail. We came out of 9/11 with the notion that we could have a single terrorist watch list to eliminate confusion, duplication, and avoid bad communications. But ever since January 6th, not only have we expanded exponentially into purely domestic watch listing, but we have also created a highly secretive and compartmented superstructure that few even understands as a DHS attorney intimately familiar with the subject. The attorney spoke on the agreement that their identity not be disclosed. Prior to 9/11, there were 9 federal agencies that maintained 12 separate watch lists. Now, officially, there are just 3. A watch list of 1.1 million international terrorists, a watch list of more than 10,000 domestic terrorists maintained by the FBI,